What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. And I did go to see this on my birthday. I went with my girlfriend, and we had a really good time watching this. I literally watched this again to make this review, and I barely fucking remember anything from it. So if I do miss any points of the story, I do apologize, because this is a very forgetful movie, and I do think they made it way too soon. I think they should have waited a little bit longer, or sort of had a more thought out story behind it, because I don't really agree with some of the things that go on in this movie, and I think it was really rushed, if anything. But let's get into that. Let's get into why I think that. We haven't done a film review in a while, so let's get back into them to sort of mix up the Fortnite sort of character challenges and get some film reviews back up and going, because I have watched some more stuff. So, Queen Raymond, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and sorry if I messed up any of these names, fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom. So how this movie started was with a sort of death ceremony, like this sort of funeral for King T'Challa, for Chadwick Boseman, and it was an incredible way to start the movie, having everyone mourn the death of T'Challa, have everyone mourn the death of the Black Panther, and I thought it was really moving, and it did start the movie with a lot of tears. I am going to say that now. This movie had me crying at the start. A few tears was shed. But after that, we sort of move on to pretty much straight to the action with this origin of Neymar and how his people were sort of on an island. They ate this fruit and had to sort of live in the ocean now because it mutated them. And Neymar became like this god, and he kept going to the land and destroying the people for like polluting the oceans. And let's just call it Ironheart, because I forgot her actual name. So Ironheart made this machine which is sort of fucking with Neymar's stuff, and Neymar is now hunting down Ironheart. We also had a little bit of Neymar info in Avengers Endgame when Okoye was talking about the ocean and stuff to do with the water there. So we had that, and we also had Okoye and Shuri learning about this girl, and Neymar obviously hunting her. So they went over to her college and sort of got her, looked at her tech, took her back to her sort of garage lab, where they were being hunted by some agents, like, you know, General Ross's agents, and also the leader of the Thunderbolts agents. So, like, the government was hunting her down as well. So they took her into Wakanda, and then the Queen of Wakanda, which is the mother of King T'Challa, took up the role again, took up the mantle of leader of Wakanda, and she's going back on T'Challa's sort of Wakanda, sort of Black Panther 1 thing, where he was sort of sharing Wakanda, opening it up, telling the world about Wakanda, and sharing resources. She's now going back on that and saying, hey, we don't want to share anymore. We don't want to get involved with all your conflict, which is fair enough. But it just seemed like a really cheap thing to sort of pull back on the promise that T'Challa made, and the sort of whole meaning of Black Panther, where he's opening up Wakanda, sort of making it more of like a telling the world about it and what's there. I don't know. It just seemed very conflicting about the first movie. We then have Okoye, Shuri, and Ironheart getting attacked on a bridge, and Shuri and Ironheart going with the sort of underwater Neymar, sort of agents, warriors, whatever you want to call them, taking them to the underwater city, and Neymar again was talking more about his past, talking more about his stuff, and then Shuri comes down. Well, Shuri actually tells the Queen that she lost her daughter, and the Queen takes away her right to be one of the warriors. So Okoye went on her own to go and rescue Shuri, which brought her back to the surface, and then Namor flooded Wakanda and sort of killed loads of its people, which then made Shuri create a synthetic Black Panther serum. You know, the purple juice that he drank in the first movie to sort of become Black Panther? She made a synthetic one of those to become the newest Black Panther, and she drank it, and instead of seeing T'Challa, she saw Killmonger, which was supposed to be like a real big plot twist, but I feel like her character is more in line with Killmonger, and is more in line with Killmonger's thoughts and opinions. So we see Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, and she looks shocked, she looks scared, and to be fair, I was shocked, but I was quite hyped to see Killmonger here, because Killmonger is one of the better villains, and one of my favourite villains from Marvel, especially the MCU. We then proceed to go to war with a Wakandan boat. Ironheart has like a whole new armor mecha suit, and they go to war in the ocean, and we then have Shuri and Namor go to land, and Shuri is going to kill Namor, but she chooses to spare him, because she has another vision of Killmonger and she doesn't want to be like him. So she has like this change of heart, spares Namor, takes her people back, and then sends Ironheart back to her university, but without her Ironheart armor. That has to stay in Wakanda because she's not allowed that back at home. And then she goes and sees T'Challa's wife and T'Challa's kid, which is the new king of Wakanda. That's a quick summary of the film. Again, it's a very brief summary because I do forget the movie. It is a very forgettable movie and not very memorable at all. The only bits that I really remember is the funeral and Killmonger showing up and the Black Panther bit at the end, because she wasn't Black Panther for long. She was Black Panther for all of half an hour, if that, half an hour, 20 minutes. It was not long for the, 3-hour length of a Marvel movie. Which was quite shocking. To say the title was Black Panther, she wasn't actually doing much Black Panther work for very long. She was mainly Shuri for the main part of it, and she was hung up on T'Challa's death, and she didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to be the Black Panther. She didn't want to be Queen. She just wanted to be the science tech girl that sits back and sort of does all the work. This is one of the best shots in the entire movie. This was one of my favorite sort of images from the movie. They just look so cool. I don't know how to put it. They just look so slick, and one of my favorite shots from the movie. I genuinely just, I was scrolling through images to sort of make this video, and I saw this one, and I'm like, this has to be in the video. This is like one of the greatest sort of images. But yeah, again, it was a very nothing movie. It wasn't very exciting. There wasn't much threat to it. Sure, he sort of flooded Wakanda, but they were all fighting over Ironheart, a character which we didn't really get to sort of know or talk about or sort of look at for very long. Like, we didn't really get to know her, we didn't really get to connect with her, so we didn't really care about her. It just sort of threw her into the mix to try and set up the new Avengers or the Young Avengers. I feel like it was very rushed, and I don't think they should have made another Black Panther straight after or this soon after Chadwick's death. I felt like they took a lot of his death into the movie and was like a huge plot point for the movie, which again, I don't really agree with. I don't think they should have focused the plot that much on his death. Again, the movie was like a whole tribute to him, but again, I think they focused a lot on his death and didn't really give Shuri enough time to shine for herself. It felt like his death was the main focus of the film, and the whole plot was pushed back because of it. And I don't want to seem rude or offensive. Chadwick Boseman was an incredible actor, an incredible person. And he definitely deserved like a tribute film and like a tribute in this film with the funeral right at the start. But I think like the whole sort of thing Shuri had to overcome would have been a lot more interesting if it was more along the Killmonger side and trying to get over Killmonger and sort of readjust her sort of side with Killmonger, because we only saw him like twice in the entire movie, but it was supposed to be like a big reveal and like a big plot twist that she was more mindseted like Killmonger than like the previous Black Panthers. And again, it was shocking to see, and they did try and say that he burnt down the tree and he burnt all this and that and the other, so that is why he's the only one there. But again, I don't agree with that. I do like her suit, though. This black and gold suit, again, aligning with Killmonger's suit, did look really cool. And it was one of my favourite MCU suits in a while, to be fair. The Black Panther suits always look so clean and so cool. And yeah, she did have a little bit of purple glow to it, but again, it was a lot more orange and gold, which has been her real colour scheme throughout the other Black Panther films and the Avenger films. But yeah, I'm not going to rate this film very highly. Plot was quite weak. Again, it only had me crying at the start. There wasn't really any threat, really any sort of main focus to the film. It felt like the focus of the film was lost, especially since how they were planning it around Chadwick's Black Panther to begin with, and they had to like change it up, so they had to make a completely new story for Shuri to become Black Panther. And I think that was always the goal, to have her become Black Panther after Chadwick. But again, I think they went the wrong way about it with this film. That is just my personal opinion. And I think Ironheart was a little rushed as well. We didn't really connect with her. She didn't really get enough screen time. She just seemed like an innocent civilian in the background, which should have been quickly saved over and done with, and not a whole plot point of the film. But other than that, it was a decent film. Not one I would watch again. It was good to see Shuri again. She is one of my favourite characters from Black Panther. But she definitely had a huge change in personality in this film. She definitely seemed more dark and gritty and angry at the world. She didn't really see like a happy, positive, jokey self. And I do get that with the situation and how they wrote the film and how that would better fit her character. But yeah, other than that, I am going to give this film a 6 out of 10. It isn't anything too spectacular. It does sit at the 5-6 area on my scale. But I wouldn't watch it again. I've seen it once now. I don't need to go through it again. I've actually sat through it twice. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. I know this is a little bit of a shorter one, but again, I am running out of things to say about this movie. All right, bye.